Like, what's a little known tactic that makes founders like more attractive to investors even before a pitch?
Transparency. Right?
Mm,
And some of it is just being vulnerable too, because you are asking somebody to part with their hard-earned money to invest in you, not just in your company, but you as a person. And
mhm.
you have to have that humility. And a lot of founders feel like, this is my baby, it's the best thing that's ever come into existence. And while that might be true, you still have to look at the fact that, and this is still a business for the investor, and they're making decisions based on what they expect will be their rate of return for you operating that business and being able to give them more than they put in terms of an investment into your company.
Got
Wow,
you, got you.
that actually leads into something I wanted to know. There are a lot of mistakes that these new founders clearly make, but what are some of the other red flags that may pop up when you as an investor? What red flags may pop up that founders may blurt out or do something to have the funding just walk away from them?
hmm if they've raised capital before, right,
Mm,
and they just stop talking to the investor because they didn't like advice that the investor was giving them, or the investor may have wanted a board seat, or the investor is questioning whether or not they are the right person after some time, right? So when you look at the funding cycle, you meet an investor, the investor gets interested, and you have these conversations. Well, that still isn't giving the investor enough information. And so the more you are providing how things have happened, like business is just not a straight line, right? So there's expectations that things won't quite work out the way that you had planned for them to, but it's how
hmm
you handle those things that will keep an investor interested or have that investor just say, okay, I'm out.
Okay.
Now, I'm glad that you said that. You really said something that's really, really important. A lot of, founders are just, they have a product, I got John Blaze, this is the hottest thing. They pitch their idea, whatever the product may be. How long does that cycle actually take? Because they feel like, all right, I got it, I spoke to you, give me the money tomorrow. How long could that possibly take?
Yeah, and it's not a one size fits all, right?
Hmm
It's the longer an investor is engaged with you is indicative of the more confidence that the investor has in you. They just need to get to a certain point where they will pull the trigger to make the investment,
Mm,
mm
right?
Gotcha.
mm,
So the more time they're spending with you, it's not just because they like you, they want to know who you are and how
Right.
you're moving the needle with your business. Is this just something that you decided I'm going to raise capital for and then go out and do everything but spend the money on the business venture? Or do you really believe in this enough to make those sacrifices to do everything that is humanly possible to make your company a success?